Hello and welcome back to my videos. I'm Klepik, and today I decided that I would spend hours upon hours decking out a bag with paint and patches and pockets just because I hate wearing things with logos on them. I have a problem, some might say. A personal problem against giant logos stuck on clothes because I personally don't want to be a walking advertisement. Now, all of the clips for this video will just be random shots that I could get here and there because I had to paint this on the floor and couldn't use my regular setup for filming, so I hope you enjoy these absolutely awful shots regardless. Thank you for your understanding. This all started when the jean bag that I made as my second ever sewing project, congrats to me, started to break. I had spent hours on that bag too because I'm absolutely awful at sewing, as we'll see later. But I put one too many textbooks in that bag, and after about 3 weeks, it started to come apart at the seams of the straps. I still actually need to repair it, which I'll probably never really get around to because I'm lazy. But since then, I have started wearing bags to school instead of backpacks because I haven't been able to go back. I don't want to go back to boring backpacks. I want my fashion statement bags. So once that bag broke, I had to start using a really old La La Land bag, a cafe place that I got forever ago. The problem was that on the back and front were big giant letters of the cafe name. I love the color of the bag. I absolutely love the color of the bag, but I absolutely did not like these big letters in the way. So I decided to paint over it. But what would I paint over it? I was completely stumped until I realized I'd been working on a game for the past few months and had 5 characters in my arsenal to choose from. But then the next issue, what would I paint them as? It needed to be a good idea, a great idea. I would be carrying this bag around all day, every day, for a while at least, and I would have to spend so long painting and putting this back together. So that led to me and my friend searching up cool poses on Pinterest that I could possibly use, but none of those were hitting the spot. So then we started searching up 5 group characters in TV shows. Now, the only other option besides Teletubbies that I seriously considered before my friend had to tell me to shut the fuck up, you freak, was Scooby-Doo. Bo could have been Fred. Frasier could have been Shaggy. Arya could have been Daphne, and Deja could have been Velma. And lastly, Dottie could have been Scooby. The problem, or the reason I wanted those characters, was because Scooby was a dog. And I was going to draw Dottie with dog ears, Scooby's collar, and no clothes because dogs don't wear clothes. And I genuinely considered it until I realized I would be wearing this around my high school and I couldn't do that. What a shame. Maybe someday. So Teletubbies it was. The colors were a pretty good match for my characters, and Dottie got to be the star of the show, literally because I made them the sun in Teletubbies that has the baby's face on it. So I painted this over my spring break, and honestly, I severely underestimated how long this bag would take me. I thought I'd be done in a couple hours, maximum. But oh my, painting takes forever. Only halfway through did I realize I could use a blow dryer to speed up the drying process, and this bag took around 3 days to paint and then another couple of hours to sew everything on the back. For what I used to paint, I have some really old fabric paint I use just by itself, but for some parts I also used acrylic because I was running out of fabric paint. To get acrylic to stay and work as fabric paint, all you need to do is mix some fabric softener into it, which is what I ended up doing for most of the paint. So even the fabric softener, just so I knew it would stay. I am genuinely so proud of this bag, I will say. I wasn't sure on how it would turn out, and I doubted I could ever paint very well as I haven't in a while, and I've never really painted portraits besides a few, so I had no experience really painting the faces of my characters, and painting on fabric is pretty different compared to paper just in the texture of it, and having to use so much blue to cover up the yellow bag color versus paper just being white and easy to paint over. But I'm so happy with this bag, and I thought it turned out pretty good until I got to the ironing part. Now, once your paint dries and you're done painting, to be sure your painting really stays on your bag and is safe to carry around without damage, you have to set it with heat. So you have to iron it and pray nothing goes wrong. Something did go wrong. 2 things went wrong, actually. The first is while ironing, I ended up staying on one spot for too long that wasn't painted over, and I burned a hole in the bag that would then spread unless it was covered. But the hole was too close to the painting for me to comfortably sew over and not damage the painting because, hint hint, just like earlier, I said I'm a terrible sewer and I'm horrified to sew near my painting. And I couldn't find my super glue either, so that was out of the question. All hope was lost. I am a terrible sewer right now, trying to get better. So I was way too scared to attempt to sew over it myself, but then dun dun da da! My super epic awesome fashionista brother came home from college like he does about every weekend, and I realized my super awesome epic fashionista brother could help me repair my bag much better than I could. So I begged him to help me, and help me he did. He zigzag stitched a piece of denim on the inside of my bag like a pro, completely fixing the hole and giving my bag a cool new texture over the hole. Genuinely saying this is not me just coping, but I do like the character that it adds. I always like adding things to my clothes and seeing imperfections. Like one time I accidentally ripped my jeans like all the way up to the knee, and so I had to sew over it. And I chose to sew over it, or my friend did, not me, because I'm terrible at sewing, with bright pink thread. So now one of my pants has like bright pink thread going up the side, and it's super cute, and I like it. But it is a very visible mistake. Editing clapic here. Since then, I have had to sew over it 2 more times. Once by myself. It went terribly, as you could imagine. And another time, I had to ask my friend's mother when I was staying over to help me sew it. Here's a picture of it now with all of its glory. It's only getting worse. And it also, actually editing Klepic here, there's a new hole. Near the top, there's a brand new, spanking new, big hole near the top of the bag. Again, right on the painting. Right on the painting. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that too. Not sure how I'm gonna do it. Anyway, off topic. That was fixed, and then I moved on to sewing patches and pockets and beads and plushies and trinkets and etc on the back of the bag to cover the other logo. But we still have the other issue the iron caused, which was unfixable, sadly. The second issue is that I warped the faces when ironing. I didn't move the iron consistently enough, and there were folds when I was doing so in some places because I was dumb and rushed through it. So in some of the places, it came out bumpy, especially in the faces, but it's not that big of a deal. If you look close, you will see that I messed up, but it's okay. It's okay. I say as I'm coping. Besides that though, the bag turned out pretty good. Like I said, after I painted it, I just kept adding stuff to the backside, and I think it looks pretty cool when it's all decked out like this. So, I have a plethora of videos and pictures that I took of it that I will now be showing for the next 5 minutes. I hope not 5 minutes actually, but 3, 2, 1, montage. You're supposed to be clapping at my finished result right now, by the way. Just saying. Clap at my awesome work. Are you clapping? That's how it should sound. Just letting you know. Yeah. I hope you were clapping, by the way. Yeah. Alright, that is everything I have to cover for this bag. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm currently trying to grow my channel, so I would really appreciate it if you could help by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you so much for your support of my videos. It really does mean a lot to me. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye!